Alright, hi again. So I've placed all the parts underneath that will go underneath the copper tape, and then they've been laid flat so that their profile is very low. Placed the other two ceramic capacitors, the 0.1 microfarads. Alright, so now a good step is to do the pins. So you've received this foam board with these pins sticking out of it. These are good to do now because these are the only other part that goes on the opposite side of the board technically. So actually you put them through on the photodiode side. I said that no other components would go on this side, and that is technically not true. These ones will go through this side where the pins, where they have the black pushed all the way up to one side. And just double check that the pins have been pushed all the way. If they haven't, you can actually just push on them and push them through. Not a bad idea. It'll make it easier later on. But not critical. They've been checked, but just in case. Alright, and then just for those three, the right angle one, you actually stick through to the other side, but I'm going to tape them down so that I know that they're flush to the board. And I'm going to do the right angle one after I do these, because you solder it through the other side of the board. So then, with these ones, and just double check that they're all straight and flush, they look good. Clean your tip, of course. And you're actually going to solder them from the component side. So that's why we're doing this step now. There's not too many parts on the board to get in the way. So same deal, heat the pad up, not the pin. The pin will heat up inherently, but you want to try to keep the soldering iron on the pad. The pad's the little silver things on the circuit board. And then same as before, I heat one side of the pad and then I apply the solder to the opposite. And it flows, and I double check that it's gone all the way around all of the solder joints. They look great. So then I peel the tape off. And then the right angle goes through the top of the board. And I do use a little bit of tape to make sure that it stays at a nice right angle. Sometimes it can bend forward or backwards. And then I do that also to make sure that it stays flush to the board. Okay. This one's a little bit trickier because the black thing's going to be in the way, but make sure, in this case, I'm going to heat it up from one side. Something to be aware of, the pins can move while you're soldering them, so it's not a bad idea to just do one. Double check that it's flush and then proceed. Otherwise, if it's not flush, what you can do is apply some pressure to it, reheat the pad, and it will flush. Be careful though, if you apply any pressure, you're going to actually push the pin in, so be careful. Don't push them evenly. So it's good, it's nice and flush. Then I'm going to proceed to solder the other two. When I'm soldering, I guide the solder with these two fingers, and that way I can control where the solder goes very, very precisely. I don't just point it at it. Alright, I'll see you next video.